Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about something sensitive, something very common, especially among women, because even the Bible talks about it. How to handle a contentious spouse. Now, why I said it is very common is because among women, even God knew. That's why He put it in His Word right here, and we will be reading in the Bible. So God knew that women are more quarrelsome than men. We all know and believe this, I'm sure. So as we read together in the book of Proverbs chapter 21 from verse 9 and then verse 19. Let's just read through quickly, so there's a scripture backup. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. And verse 19 of Proverbs 21 says, "It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman." So you can imagine, God knew that women are most likely to be the ones who are contentious. So we are going to look at that, like how to deal with a contentious woman. Of course, sometimes you might find the man is the one who is quarrelsome. The man is the one who is always, easily angered, always up in arms and all. Yeah, so how do you deal with such a spouse if you have one? First of all, this is someone you've already chosen, to be with for life. So there must be a solution. There must be a way you can work on this. You can cope up with them. You can live with them, because quitting is not really a solution. It's not. It's not an option. It's not. Yeah. Anyway, you get it. So one of the things is meeting your spouse's needs. Maybe the reason why they are always, quarrelsome or contentious about everything, good or bad, small or big. They're always quarreling, they're always, nagging. Men like to call it nagging. So ask yourself why your partner, why your spouse is always nagging, is always quarreling, is always, arguing. Could it be that you've not met their needs? Like I've said, it could be two-way. It could be the man or the woman. So find out the cause of their being contentious by meeting their need. What need of theirs haven't you met? Is it you failing to fulfill your promises? Is it you're coming home late? What could it be that is stirring them into being quarrelsome all the time? Yeah, so you have to figure it out to know how to handle it, because you're going to be with this person for long. So the earlier you figure out how not to bring that other side of them up, the better for you. The other thing you can do is definitely not to respond when you're angry. They say even if there's a heated argument, it's better for the other party to just be calm. I know it might be hard, but you can practice and eventually you will know how to handle. So if the other person is quarreling, is loud, is shouting, just choose to be calm. Just choose to be quiet. It's better for you not to say something that you will regret than to be quiet and ask for time, maybe to think, time alone instead of responding. Just try to be the calm one. And then the other thing is definitely, of course, praying for them should have actually been number one. Yeah, you can just take it to the Lord in prayer, as the hymn tells us. Yeah, so if you have a quarrelsome spouse, just pray about it. Pray for them. Pray that the Lord will help them, calm their nerves, will help them lessen the stress. Because sometimes it's stress. Actually, yeah, it is very stressing to have a quarrelsome person later on if stress alone triggers their contentiousness. Yeah, the other point could be communicating to them early. Sometimes maybe being contentious or being quarrelsome all the time is caused by abrupt information. Imagine if your spouse was to wake up one day and be like, "I'm going for a work trip. It's taking a week," without preparing you. You would also be like shocked. So if someone already has that character in them of being quarrelsome and all, honestly, you will have started, you will have pressed the wrong button. So to avoid that, make sure you practice prior communication, specifically for women. Having a quarrelsome wife causes actually most men to go silent. silent treatment. Some of them choose to come home late. Yeah, men do that because of they're avoiding home. There's no peace at home. Home is just stressing. It's not a conducive environment for them. So some men choose to come home late. Some men resort to drinking. Unfortunately, others maybe get involved in other funny habits. Could be betting, which are not really healthy. Instead of spending time with family, instead of being at home, with you and with the children, they resort to that. But it's because you've pushed them away due to your being contentious. So we have to look out for that. We have to put yourself in your spouse's shoes. Would you tolerate having a spouse who is contentious, who is quarrelsome, who is always arguing? So put yourself in the shoes of your spouse and just try to work on your temper, try to work on control your emotions, just find a way of communicate your feelings. Let me just put it like that. Communicate your feelings, tell them how you feel. Maybe you don't like abrupt communication, say things. Maybe you don't like them coming home late. Maybe you don't like them promising and not fulfilling. So talk about it instead of quarreling and complaining about everything, even the good. Actually, that brings me to another solution is to we are not perfect. No one is actually perfect. So the other thing you can do is just to look out for the positive in your spouse. Yes, I'm sure there's a reason you married them. So they might be weak in this area, but they are strong in other areas. So look out for the positive. Let it outdo the negative. Yes, and then if you're the one who is quarrelsome, you need to ask for forgiveness, because a good marriage is made up of two good forgivers. So if you're not able to forgive your spouse, there's no way you will move to the next step as a couple. So learn to ask for forgiveness when you are in wrong, and to ask for forgiveness when you're really taking it the wrong way, when you're too, overboard in everything. So you need to protect your children against such quarrels. Just know that children are always watching. You might think they are watching television or cartoons and they are taken up, and so you raise your voices at each other and all, but children are listening, they are watching. So please protect your children against this. That's what they will take from me. That's what they remember you for. They will be at school. Children can actually be affected in school because of what happens at home. So just be careful as you're quarreling and being loud and all that, shouting at each other. Remember that your children are in this and they are aware. They are not fools. They can hear, they can watch, they know how to read body language. Honestly, they know when mom is not happy, they know when dad is not happy. So just try to remember that they are young ones looking up to you. If you have a contentious spouse, you can also learn to filter what to say to them. You already know them very well. It has happened many times. So you just know, ask yourself before you tell them something, ask yourself, what would they say, or how would they react if I told them this or that? So you filter, you pick out what to tell them and how to say it. You prepare yourself so that you don't, bring out that other side of them. Yeah. Well, remember that being quiet can work, but it's not always a solution. So find a way of expressing your feelings towards your contentious spouse. Yeah, otherwise marriage is beautiful, it is a good thing, and you can't just give up. There's always a solution, there's always a choice and a decision to be made. And one of them is actually through communication. Communicate your feelings, communicate how you feel about this or that. Just talk freely, the two of you, and solve your issues in the bedroom. Remember, do not take your issues out to the world, to your friends, to your circles, to your workmates. Some of the information you get to your spouse, that you're talking about them and all. And the people you tell will take advantage and probably ruin your marriage. Not everyone is happy for you. You have to know that. So I hope these tips are helpful. Yep. Kindly remember subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next videos. I'll be bringing you videos about marriage, videos about relationships, preparing singles for marriage. Yeah. Thank you.